Welcome to Cosmic Faith, where cutting-edge science reveals divine truth. Before we dive into today's mind-expanding exploration of quantum physics and God's nature, take a moment to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss our weekly revelations. If you find value in today's journey, please hit that like button. It really helps our community grow, and I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Have you ever wondered how quantum mysteries might reflect God's nature? Now let's explore how the strangest discoveries in physics point directly to our Creator. The quantum world defies our intuition. Particles exist as probabilities until observed, can be in multiple places simultaneously, and demonstrate spooky action at a distance. These bizarre quantum behaviors align perfectly with biblical descriptions of God's nature. At the dawn of the 20th century, scientists believed they had nearly completed their understanding of physics. The Newtonian worldview presented a universe of solid particles moving through absolute space and time according to fixed, deterministic laws. Then came quantum mechanics, and everything changed. Scientists discovered that at the subatomic level, reality behaves in ways that defy our common-sense understanding. Particles exist as probability waves until observed. They can be in multiple places simultaneously. They can affect each other instantly across vast distances. They can tunnel through impenetrable barriers. These discoveries shattered the materialistic deterministic worldview that had dominated science since the Enlightenment. As physicist Sir James Jeans noted, the universe begins to look more like a great thought than like a great machine. What's remarkable is how these quantum discoveries align with biblical descriptions of God's nature and relationship to creation. One of the most fundamental quantum principles is wave-particle duality, the discovery that light and matter can behave as both waves and particles depending on how they're observed. This duality parallels the biblical description of Christ's dual nature as both fully God and fully human. Just as quantum entities transcend simple categorization as either waves or particles, Christ transcends simple categorization as either divine or human. John's Gospel begins by describing Jesus as the Logos, Word, the rational principle underlying reality, who became flesh and dwelt among us. John 1:14. This divine-human duality mirrors the wave-particle duality at the foundation of physical reality. Even more fascinating is how this duality relates to the Trinity. God exists as three persons while remaining one being, a concept that defies our logical categories just as quantum duality defies our classical categories. Quantum superposition is the principle that particles can exist in multiple states simultaneously until measured. An electron can be in multiple positions at once, only resolving to a specific location when observed. This quantum reality parallels God's omnipresence, his ability to be present everywhere simultaneously. Psalm 139:7. 10 asks, "Where can I go from your spirit? Where can I flee from your presence? If I go up to the heavens, you are there. If I make my bed in the depths, you are there." Just as an electron exists in a state of multiple possibilities until interaction collapses its wave function, God exists in a state of being present at all points in creation simultaneously. Physicist John Polkinghorne, who became an Anglican priest, noted this parallel. Quantum theory brought to light a remarkable form of non-locality. In a somewhat analogous way, theology speaks of God as being everywhere present in creation. Perhaps the most mysterious quantum phenomenon is entanglement, what Einstein called spooky action at a distance. When two particles become entangled, they form a single system. Change one particle, and its partner instantly responds, even if they're on opposite sides of the universe. This instantaneous connection, which defies the speed of light limitation, parallels God's omniscience, his ability to know everything simultaneously, regardless of distance. Hebrews 4:13 states, "Nothing in all creation is hidden from God's sight. Everything is uncovered and laid bare before the eyes of him to whom we must give account." Just as entangled particles maintain instantaneous connection regardless of distance, God maintains instantaneous awareness of all creation, regardless of spatial separation. Even more remarkably, recent experiments have shown that quantum entanglement works not just across space but across time. Particles can be entangled with other particles that existed in the past or will exist in the future. This temporal entanglement parallels God's relationship to time. Isaiah 46:10 describes God as declaring the end from the beginning, and from ancient times things not yet done. God's knowledge transcends time just as quantum entanglement transcends temporal limitations. One of the most profound quantum discoveries is the observer effect, the finding that the act of observation affects the reality being observed. Particles exist as probability waves until measured, at which point they collapse into definite states. This quantum principle parallels the biblical account of creation where God speaks reality into existence and then observes it. God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. God saw that the light was good. Genesis 1:3-4. The act of divine observation, God saw that it was good, parallels the quantum collapse of possibilities into actualities through observation. Physicist John Wheeler proposed what he called the participatory anthropic principle, suggesting that observer participation is necessary for the universe to exist. As he put it, no phenomenon is a real phenomenon until it is an observed phenomenon. This scientific principle mirrors Hebrews 11:3. By faith we understand that the universe was formed at God's command, so that what is seen was not made out of what was visible. Reality emerges from the invisible realm of probability into the visible realm of actuality through observation, both in quantum physics and in Scripture. Quantum indeterminacy, the principle that certain properties of particles are inherently unpredictable, dealt a fatal blow to the deterministic worldview that had dominated science since Newton. The quantum world isn't governed by strict cause and effect relationships, but includes genuine randomness and probability. This indeterminacy creates space for free will in a way that classical physics did not. This aligns with the biblical emphasis on human choice and responsibility. Joshua 24:15 states, "Choose for yourselves this day whom you will serve." This divine invitation to choice presupposes genuine freedom, not deterministic causation. Quantum indeterminacy provides a scientific framework for understanding how God could create a universe with genuine freedom while maintaining sovereign oversight, a question that has challenged theologians for centuries. Modern quantum field theory views particles not as tiny billiard balls, but as excitations in underlying quantum fields that permeate all space. These fields must be constantly maintained. If they cease to exist for even a moment, all reality would instantly vanish. This scientific understanding parallels Colossians 1:17, which says of Christ, "In him all things hold together." Hebrews 1:3 describes Christ as sustaining all things by his powerful word. Just as quantum fields must be continuously sustained for reality to exist, Scripture describes God continuously sustaining creation through his power. Physicist and theologian Ian Barber notes, in quantum field theory, particles are patterns of energy in a field. This offers a suggestive parallel to the idea that God is continuously creating and sustaining the world. Quantum non-locality, the principle that particles can instantaneously affect each other regardless of distance, challenges our intuitive understanding of space itself. This scientific principle parallels God's transcendence of spatial limitations. As Solomon prayed at the dedication of the temple, "The heavens, even the highest heaven, cannot contain you." 1 Kings 8:27. Non-locality suggests that at the quantum level, space itself is not fundamental but emergent, a secondary reality arising from deeper principles. This aligns with the biblical view that God created space rather than existing within it. As physicist Paul Davies notes, the non-local quantum connection is a holistic relationship that transcends space and time. In this respect, it resembles some aspects of the way God is conceived. Quantum field theory reveals that the vacuum of space isn't truly empty, but seething with virtual particles that continuously pop in and out of existence. This quantum vacuum contains enormous energy and serves as the foundation for all physical reality. This scientific concept parallels the biblical doctrine of creation ex nihilo, creation out of nothing. Genesis 1:1 states, "In the beginning God created the heavens and the earth," describing creation not as rearranging pre-existing materials, but as bringing reality itself into existence. The quantum vacuum provides a scientific framework for understanding how the physical universe could emerge from apparent nothingness, not true nothingness but the mind and power of God. These parallels between quantum physics and biblical theology have profound implications. They suggest that the deeper we probe physical reality, the more it points to a creator whose nature transcends our categories of space, time, and matter. As physicist and Anglican priest John Polkinghorne writes, quantum theory has brought to light a remarkable form of wholeness in the physical world. The physical world, as understood through quantum theory, is not just a collection of independently existing entities, but a network of relationships. This quantum wholeness reflects the biblical understanding of creation as a unified expression of God's mind, rather than a collection of independent parts. Quantum mechanics reveals a universe far stranger and more wonderful than classical physics imagined. A universe where reality is relational rather than mechanical, where consciousness plays a fundamental role, and where our deepest categories of space, time, and matter break down at the fundamental level. These quantum discoveries don't prove God's existence in a simplistic sense, but they demolish the materialistic worldview that has been used to argue against God. They reveal a universe whose fundamental nature aligns remarkably with biblical descriptions of God and his relationship to creation. As we continue to explore the quantum world, we may discover that the mind of God is not a metaphor, but the ultimate reality from which physical existence itself emerges. If you found this exploration of quantum physics and divine nature enlightening, please hit that like button, share this video with someone who needs this perspective, and subscribe for more revelations where cutting-edge science meets timeless truth. Until next time, remember that the deeper we probe reality, the more it points to its creator.